constructors battle is number one. Yeah, I don't mind if I finish second or third as a driver. I would prefer to finish second. I won't lose sleep over it. I'm here to win, and that's about it. So for me, the focus is the constructor, and obviously by doing that, hopefully I still finish second in the drivers. But yeah, my focus is solely for the team this weekend and delivering. And obviously, the more I can deliver for them, the better it will be for me as a driver. But yeah, that's not how I think.
How will you personally look back on 2024?
I think a good improvement from my rookie season, but still room to go. I think a few races at the start of the season, a few races more recently have not gone as well as I would have liked. And I think also as a team, there's some races through the year that we would have liked to have executed a bit better. But I think especially in the middle part of the year, I was very happy with the level I was performing at, and I think showed some pretty clear progress from last season.
I think the best way to say goodbye to my home these last 4 years, and to the team that I've given my absolute best for the last 4 years, and I've enjoyed every single moment with them, and to say goodbye with a constructor's title, I think would be the perfect sign-off or the perfect goodbye. It's still gonna be difficult, but I've seen worse things in racing happen before, and we're gonna give it our best shot.
It's going to be a very tough weekend because obviously we need to do absolutely everything perfect, and they've also got to have a bit of a suboptimal weekend. But we'll focus on what we can control, which is to have a perfect weekend, and we'll try our best in order to achieve that.
We fight hard in the stewards, and it's never personal. And what happened at the weekend, from my side to Max, was not personal. The same way as in the race, Max telling his team to check for Lando with the yellow flag is not personal from Max to Lando. It's part of racing, but the words he said is totally unnecessary. He's crossed the line, and I'm not going to accept it. So, somebody has to stand up to someone who thinks he's above the law.
I still can't believe that someone can be like that in the stewards room. For me, that was so unacceptable because, we're all racing drivers. We all have a lot of respect for each other. We even, play sports together. You travel together. And of course you have moments where you get together, you crash or whatever. You're not happy. In my whole career, I've never experienced what I have experienced in the stewards room in Qatar, and for me, that was really unacceptable.
Sometimes when they apply, a rule or a penalty to someone, then why we don't follow, that path, and in the next race is not applicable anymore. Depending sometimes which nationality you are. If I do that, I will not receive the same benefit as George did probably there, or maybe my incident in Australia, contactless, 30 meters away from me, someone goes off track and I get the penalty. So, you sometimes you wonder if you switch the positions and you are the other guy, if you will have the same treatment. That's what I say sometimes.
What did Flavio say to you when he gave you the news? What's he kind of set you as the target for this weekend? Because you're almost parachuting in, aren't you?
Yeah, to be honest, he told me that I'll be racing. Fairly simple, it's very simple with Flavio, and to be ready. And, there's no real expectation, it's to build it up over Friday. FP2 is new territory for me. So really just to progress through Friday and continue that progression, to finish the race and just to learn as much as possible before 2025.
I'm very impressed with the team development across the whole year. Looking at Bahrain, where we were the first few races, barely scoring a point, and it's been tough for everybody working for the team, and also personally, when you put a lot of efforts and obviously don't get any reward, don't get any points. But at the end of the day, you always keep the big picture and looking at development and the fact that it's going to be a long year. And seeing the car the team provided me in the last few races, I must say it's been very enjoyable to be back.
Them being 5 points ahead, of course, is a pretty tough task. We got to outscore them by 6 points, and it's not often we even score 6 points, let alone 6 points more than them. So I think it's pretty difficult weekend ahead in terms of getting P6. But we have been strong. I think our car, has been strong at a variety of different tracks and conditions over the last several races. So should be strong at least, and maybe luck will be on our side this time.
I see it very tight. The whole midfield is very tight, like we saw, over the last few weekends, and small things can make a big difference. I think it is going to be very difficult this weekend to turn it around after what happened last Sunday, and them scoring a lot of points again. But our package is competitive. We're quick on merit, and personally, all I want to achieve is to maximize and optimize this final weekend together and enjoy it.
I know the championship now, it's a bit more complicated than last few races, but anything can happen. We're not giving up for sure. And yeah, like you said, the track that also we had a good memories here in previous years, so I'll do as much as I can.
Obviously, there's always things you can do better. You look back at 6 races of any driver, and nobody ever comes away and goes, hey, I did the perfect 6 races. So I'm happy with how it's gone, but obviously there's things that I'll learn from out of those races that I'll take into the future. Hopefully I get this opportunity again in the future, but overall I'd say I'm happy.
I wouldn't say I regret, because I gave it all. With that, I'm pretty relaxed about. I think it's just that the fact that the car was so difficult and we understood the issues too late in the year. So we were always working with something that it wasn't delivering the way we thought. And so the setup was generally in the wrong direction and here and there. So it meant that it was super difficult to get 100% out of the Red Bull car, which was a great car this year, but it was just too difficult to get the most out of it.
I think you've all seen the worst of me and you've seen the best of me. And I'm not going to apologize for either, because I'm only human and I don't always get it right. And I would say this year's been one of the worst in terms of handling that from my side, which I'll work on trying to be better at. But I hope the good and the highs far outweigh the negatives in how I've handled it or behaved. And as I said, I just remember the good times. I've had built some incredible relationships. We've gone through. If you imagine when you're going through a season together with so many people, you not only on those race weekends you're riding the highs and lows together, but in their personal lives, through marriages, through divorces, through loss of family members, through cancer, through all sorts. You're going through these journeys with these people, so it's a really beautiful journey you go on together. And being that it was so long, the emotions run so deep.
I think it's really just about next year and hitting the ground with a new and better car, philosophy of car. I think that's what we're all kind of looking forward to now. We know that this year we brought a lot of updates that were disappointing in the end, and we didn't keep them on the car. We're still on the package from the 4th race of the season, and we've brought in, I think, 4 upgrades or whatever since then, and they all disappointed us. So it's really now just about focusing on next year and getting a good winter's work in to hit the ground in a much stronger position beginning of next season.
We've not had it easy. I think we've just been through a tough multiple race streak. To be fair to you, Qatar was not so much unlucky, more just we didn't have the pace. I think it was, in terms of finishing a race, quite a normal weekend, but we did struggle a little bit. So I think that's part of it, down to upgrades from other teams and us putting a lot more focus into next year's car.
I want to finish the year on a high. I think the team deserves that. They have done a lot of work during all the year, especially the last couple of races, but they deserve a good result, and to finish the year on a high, I think it is quite important for all of us. So the last 3 runs were quite tough, but I'm sure we can bounce back stronger here and have a good weekend.
It was an amazing night in Qatar, and then of course one final race, so looking forward for that one. But also I think I'm just really happy finally we can get a award, not just myself, I think entire team working so hard for that. for a single point, but we got points, so it was a good one. And then for now, of course, I'm just going to this weekend, want to enjoy as much as I could for myself, you know.
Yeah, of course, that's the aim, to finish on a high, almost finish on a high last weekend, but yeah, everything kind of went against. But yeah, it's one more chance, and of course, gonna give it everything I have for the team and for the sport.